architectures in .NET Core one by one with the real world example, so you know exactly which one fits your project. So let's dive in. So let's start with the simplest one, which is monolithic architectures. So think of it like a single big house where the kitchens, bedrooms and living rooms are all connected with no walls between them. Everything, your UI, your business logic, your database calls, lives in one single code base, and it's all gets deployed together as one unit. For example, imagine you are building a simple to-do list app for yourself. You are write the code that show the task, the code that saves them, and all code that talks to a database, all in one project. So one solution file that is called a monolith. So why people love it? So it's easy to build, easy to test, and since everything in one place, there is no network delay between parts. So performance is great. So where it hurts? So as your app grows, everything is tangled together, changes one things, and you risk breaking their other things. It does not scale well, and you are kind of locked into your original tech choices. So when we have to choose this monolithic architecture, small app, MVPs, prototypes, basically when you just want to get something working fast and the logic isn't too complex. So moving to next one, which is entire architecture, sometimes called layered architecture. So here the idea, instead of throwing everything into a one bucket like the monolith, you split your app into a layers, usually a presentation layer, what the users sees, a business logic layer, the rules and calculations, and the data access layer, which is talking to the database. So if I talk about examples over here, so picture in online store, the presentation layer is your product page. The business logic layer checks things like, is this item in a stocks, or apply the discount code, and the database access layer actually pull that product info from the database. So there are separate layer, each with its with own job. So why it's useful? It's more organized. If your UI designs want to change how things look, so they don't need to touch the business rules. Nice separation of the concerns. So the catch of this architecture, the layers are still tightly connected to each other. So if you change some things in one layer, it can still ripple up and affect the others. So when should I use this architecture? So basically enterprise application where you want to a clear traditional and separation between UI logic and data. So moving next architecture, which is clean architecture. It is just little bit more advanced as a call clean architecture. So imagine your business rule, the actual heart of your application, sitting safely in the center, completely independent from everything else. Around it, you wrap layer like domain, application, and the outer UI, and internal stuff like database or APIs. The rules is simple. Outer layer can dependent in the inner layer, but never the other way around. So I'm giving an example. So say you are building a banking app. The core rule, you can't withdraw more money than your balance. So lives deep in a center. The domain, it does not care if you're using SQL Server or MongoDB, or if the UI is a website or a mobile app. Those are just a details plugin in from that outside. So why developer love it? It's highly testable and maintainable. So you can literally swap out your database or your UI framework without touching your core business logic. So if I talk about the trade-off, so it takes more upfront setup, and there is a steeper learning curve if you are new to it. So if I talk about best for fit this architecture, so yeah, complex long-term project and need to say scalable and testable for years to come. So moving to next one, which is vertical slice architecture. Instead of organizing your code by technical layer like all UI here, all business logic there, you organize it by features. Each feature or slice contain everything it needs: API, business logic, and data access from top to bottom. So let's understand with an example. So let's say you have an e-commerce app with a place order feature and a cancel order feature. Instead of scattering the code for those across shared layer, each features get its own self-contained slice with everything it needs independent from the other. So why it's great? High cohesion, low coupling, meaning each feature it's its own little world. So you can develop faster and scale one feature without worrying about breaking another one. So there is a catch. It's required good teams, discipline. Otherwise, slices can start decoupling code in messy ways. So when should we use? Modern API application, agile teams, and features focused development where speed and independence matter. So moving to next, here's the big one. You have probably heard a lot about microservice architecture. So instead of one big application, you break everything down into a small independent service, each with its own job, its own database, and its own deployment, and they talk to each others over a network, usually through something called an API gateway. Let's try to understand in example. Think about Netflix or Amazon. There is a service just for handling user account, another just for payments, another just just for recommendations. Each one can be built, updated, and scaled completely its own. If the recommendation service crash, your payment service keep working as it is without any issue. So why companies choose this one? You get independent deployment, use scalability, and the freedom to use different technologies for different services. So if I talk about little bit trade-off this architecture, so it's genuinely complex to design, deploy, and manage. And since services talk over a network, you deal with things like network latency. So when should I use this architecture? So large scale systems with multiple teams working in parallel and serious scalability requirements. So moving to next, which is CQRS architecture, which stand for Commands Query Responsibility Segregation. Sound fancy, but the idea is actually pretty simple. You separate the read side from the write side of your application. Writing data like creating or updating something goes through a command path. Reading data, just fetching and displaying it, goes through a completely separate query path, often even using a different optimized database. So let's try to understand with an example. Think of a social media app. When you post something, that is a command. It goes through the validation, business rules, and gets writing to the main database. But when 1,000 people are scrolling their feed and just reading post, that goes through a super fast optimized read database, may even a cache, completely separate from the writing process. Why it's powerful? So you get optimized performance for both reading and writing, and each side can scale independently. So here the catch for this architecture: it adds real complexity, and you have to deal with the data consistency, since the read data might lag slightly behind the write data. So when should you use this architecture? So systems with heavy read and write loads, think reporting, dashboards, analytics platforms, or complex domains. So moving to last one, which is event driven architecture. So here components don't call each other directly. Instead, one part of the system produce an event, basically saying, hey, something happened, and send it to an event broker or message bus. Other parts of the systems that care about that event consume it and react, all without knowing about each other directly. So let's take example. Imagine you are order a pizza online. The moment you click order, an event called order placed gets fired off. The kitchen service pick it up and start in cooking. The notification service pick it up and text you your order is confirmed. The delivery service pick it up and assign a driver. None of these services talk to each other directly. They just react to the event. So why it's powerful? So everything is loosely coupled, highly scalable, and works great in real time. So if I talk about the trade-off, because everything happen asynchronously, you get eventually consistency, meaning things settle a moment later, not instantly, and debugging can get tricky since there is no single obvious flow to the flow. So when should I use this architecture? So real-time systems, IoT, stream processing, and connecting multiple independent services together. So now we have to go through all these 7 major .NET architecture, from the simplest monolithic all the way to the event-driven system. And here is the honest truth: there is no one size fit all the architecture. A tiny prototype does not need microservices, and a massive real-time platform probably should not be a monolith. The best architecture is the one that actually fit your team size, your project's complexity, and where you want to be a year or two from now. So if this helped clearly things up, drop a like, save this for later, and let me know in the comments which architecture you are using right now. So see you in the next. So keep watching. Thank you. Have a nice day, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.